Good evening, televiewers. You're welcome to Prime R on My Media Prime. We want to say we are sincerely sorry for the late start, and we are going to discuss what was planned for us. This day, like we said last time, every Friday we are going to be talking about business, financial empowerment, and today, like we promised, we are going to do just that with our experts in the domain of wealth creation in a company. This day, like has been the tradition on Fridays, we are receiving people from the Tex Global Foundation. Tex Global is a whole complex, a chain of businesses founded by Mr. Teke Samuel. So they are in the house today to tell us how we also can join and follow their footsteps and become wealthier and lead successful lives. We are in the company of Mr. Buji Liantin. He is the marketing director of Tex Global. We're glad to have you.
I'm happy to be here once again.
Okay. How is Tex Global doing?
Well, Tex Global is doing extremely well. Tex Global is at this moment of global expansion, and we are reaching out to more people, especially our brothers and sisters here in Cameroon. So Tex Global is very well. Okay.
Eli, can you send us one in here, please? We also are in the company of Ngwetusi Lonarika. They call her Miss L. She's also in the house with us. Good evening, welcome.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm awesome. Don't have a bad voice.
And how is the Tex Global doing?
Tex Global is doing
Chef's
awesome.
Academy?
Chef Academy. Chef Academy is doing perfectly fine as we keep moving with our activities.
They are touching more lives.
Yeah, we're touching more lives, transforming more people.
They are making them to become billionaires.
Yes, wealth creation is the order of the day.
Okay. We are going to be talking about the audacity to succeed. The topic today is the path to success. What are the core keys to leading a very successful life as a woman or as a man? I will start with you, Mr. Buji. Sincerely, I know you people have been expecting the program since 7 o'clock. We make machines at times, the machines decide to fail us. But since we love you so much, we decided to honor the rendezvous and make sure that we discuss the little that was made available for you today. So, when we see the path to success, the audacity to succeed, what do we consider as someone who is successful in life?
Well, someone who is successful in life is someone who is living a fulfilled life. He's living a life of purpose. So when we talk about audacity, attaching it to success, it means for audacity. The word audacity means actually out of the ordinary, abnormal, if you can say it, because they say the people who change the world are actually those who are abnormal to think that they can change the world. So audacity, the path to success, you will actually be audacious, which means that you will not be a conformist. You will do things out of the way the ordinary person does them. The difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person is the way they look at failure. For instance, you are for you to succeed, your fear of failure must be greater. Your fear or your desire to succeed must be greater than your fear of failure. So, and success, you cannot talk about the word success without talking about failure. And when we look at what our theme for this is for our upcoming event that we will be linking towards impacting 21,000 Cameroonians, that's something is already an audacious action for us, because we are in an area where the mindset of our people needs a lot of work, and we took it upon ourselves to actually challenge the status quo, to create more informed people, because if you are not informed, you are definitely deformed. So personally, for me, success is is a decision. It must be intentional. You must decide to succeed. That's the way I look at success. And you must do whatever it takes if you want to be successful.
Okay. Sumbele Kelvin writing from Consamba says, Mr. Lewis, like there is no program today. There is a program. We are live now. You can just tune and say greetings, brother Leo and Pastor Chu Moses come from now, what do you consider as a successful person?
Okay, my consideration as per a successful person is based on fulfillment.
Okay.
Like Mr. Buji said, coming to the point of self-realization and being able to meet up with what you've realized, as in could be the satisfactory factor in your life. So a successful man is not just a man who can be able to live comfortably, but a man who can be comfortable and make others comfortable. Because you can never say you're successful unless you have people who are leveraging from your success. Then you would tell yourself that you're successful. And it has a lot to do with decision making. It's a choice. People choose to succeed. If you cannot come to the point where you have decided that you want to be successful, then it will be difficult for you to get there. And away from deciding, as a person, you have to understand what is your own definition of success. Because if you do not understand your definition of success, it gets to the point where you live an unsatisfactory life. If you want to define success based on the people you've seen beside you, based on your environment, based on the nation, based on the people you have around you, then it will be difficult for you to get to the place of fulfillment and self-satisfaction. So success is that a successful man is that man who has come to the point where he knows what can make him happy and be able to make others happy in return. So it's a two-way something. You make a choice, you decide to be successful, and as you're making the choice, you are not just getting fulfillment, but you're also making others around you fulfilled. Because I guess if we want to look at a lot of successful people around, they are not just impacting themselves, but impacting the people that are around them.
Because you say it has to do with fulfillment. Are we saying that it doesn't suffice to be rich? Is it synonymous as a wealthy man must be successful? Is that it?
Okay.
Can we have somebody who is very rich and not successful?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's very possible to be rich and not successful. Like I said, a successful man is somebody who gets to the point of self-satisfaction, fulfillment, and you are able to make others around you fulfilled. You can be so rich, but you are not successful. Because a successful man is that man who can leave a legacy. You have what you put on the table for others to leverage from. So, like what I always mention, that a rich man and a wealthy man are two different persons. Being rich, money is just a part of wealth. When you are summing up a wealthy man, you're calculating the net worth of somebody. Money is just a part of it. You can have 5 billion in the morning, and by noon you are broke. That is not fulfillment, because in a nutshell, you discover that some of the things you were aiming that you could be able to achieve, you will not be able to achieve them. But now, somebody who is successful, somebody who is rich, let me say, somebody who is successful will be able to put in so much that will stand as a legacy when he is not there. That's a successful man.
Okay.
That leaves a legacy,
like
meaning that people are leveraging on it.
You leave an inheritance.
Yes, for your children. That's what the Bible also says. So if you want to tell me that you're successful, it's not about being rich. It's about you being. It's like how the quotes from the Beloved Mindset will say that life is not about duration, it's about donation. What have you put on the table for others to leverage? So it's more about leveraging what you've put on the table as a legacy, so that when you are not there, people can remember you of and be able to still feed from it and get satisfied themselves even in your absence.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you say it is a choice.
Yes.
To be a successful person. The audacity to be a success in life is a choice. We're saying that there are people, because almost everybody wants to be rich, everybody wants to be wealthy. Can someone willingly decide not to succeed in life?
Well, I'm not sure there is anybody who can willingly decide not to succeed in life. But by their actions, it is not what you say that actually determines if you're going to be successful. Because success has its principles.
Okay.
Yes. So look at it. To be successful, first of all, let's look at like what we'll be looking at, audacity of success. You have to be spiritual about it. How many people, how many Cameroonians do meditate? What about spirituality? You'll be going towards even your ideas, your beliefs in yourself. Do you believe that you can succeed in the first place? Do you believe that there is a supreme being that can actually inspire you to succeed? Because there are some people, for me, when I pray, I feel like a giant. So that is, I understand the spirituality. When I want to do something, I say either I succeed or I succeed. It means that you're already at the level where spiritually you are prepared. And what happens to you in the physical actually takes place in the spiritual. So the success that you see doesn't just happen physically. It takes an internal process. That is why for you to succeed at something, you need to first of all even develop an idea. And that's what the billionaire mindset is talking about. You need to have an idea. And an idea is something that ideas come to you like images. They come to you like a spirit. That's not something, you cannot touch an idea, but you can materialize an idea.
Yes, so you must make up your mind to succeed. But yes, many persons actually want to succeed, but why are they not succeeding?
Because their actions are taking them away from the success. You cannot say, for instance, you want to be a wealthy man. Today, an average Cameroonian, I want to draw examples from the environment that I know very well. If you give them an alert of 1 million francs CFA today, this weekend,
they're going to the snack.
Their programs, their mental programming tells them that you have to go to the snack. You have to buy an iPhone. At least they're looking to borrow 200,000 francs to add and buy the latest iPhone, whether it's Pro Max or.
I don't even know.
So that's what happens. Their mindset normally they are wired.
It costs $1 million francs.
Yes.
And if you have to add the watch to it, you move up
that is
to
it.
1.2 million.
So you see, like unsuccessful people, they impress others, while successful people seek to impact.
The audacity to succeed. Please, if you're watching us and you think that you want to succeed, but it takes a lot of steps. You must be determined. You need to change your mindset. So this book, as I say all the time, the billionaire's mindset. If you want to live differently, make sure you get this book. You can get to them using the numbers below your screens to start thinking differently. Can someone decide to be unsuccessful? Almost everybody wants to succeed.
Okay, I'll start by saying that I don't think anybody wants to be unsuccessful. But this is the problem. We have the choice, but we lack the actions. Our choices, yes, our choices are void of the actions. Now, if I should say I want to do this is what so many Cameroonians do. They keep saying with their mouth, I want to be successful, I'm going to make a lot of money. But now they fail to sit back to ask themselves that what are the necessary steps I'm supposed to put in place to be able to get to where I intend to go to. And now, like what Mr. Buchi said, talking about the spiritual part, it's not just being spiritual. What about working on your emotions when it concerns success? It's like what I remember one time that the guy told me that emotional people don't rule the world. If you're getting too emotional, you will never be successful. So there are a lot of things that we do that already points out to people that we will not be successful. Tomorrow does not exist for a man who does not have activities of today. In the words of Mr. Teke, the same thing that is happening.
I'm sure you have, Eli. I'm sure you have the Skype name of Mr. Teke. If you have it there with you, can you try to connect with him on Skype? Yes, go on.
Okay, so talking about success as what you earlier asked. Now, not like people don't have not made the decision to succeed. A lot of people have the decision that mind that they want to succeed. But now, it's not only about saying it with your mouth. It's backed by actions. It's backed by knowledge. You have to empower yourself to know exactly what will be necessary, what will be needed for you to be successful. And now, if you want to be successful, it takes a lot of focus. You cannot be saying that you want to be successful and you're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You have to choose where is the guy, like what we're talking about, the path. Which road am I going to take to get to that point where I want to be successful? It's like how the English man will say that a jack of all trades and the master of none. Anyways, it's possible to be a jack of all trades, but at least be the master of your measure. Decide which one is your measure and be the master of it. Not just doing everything and knowing nothing at the end of the day. So a lot of us are saying I want to be successful, but we have not sat down to be able to decide on the steps that are necessary for us to be able to get to that point of success. And away from that, we are not focused. A focused mind is one that can easily be successful. Any man that is focused will not, that type of person, success is when it concerns their side. So it's not like people sit and say, it's even bad because even a 5-year-old tell you I want to make money. They might not know so much, but they'll tell you I'm going to make money. You say a 5-year-old telling their mother I'm going to buy you a car, I'm going to build you a house. They are just saying yes, but when they are growing up, knowledge has to come in place. So they start asking themselves, okay, I want to get a car. How do I get a car? The how is always a problem when it concerns Cameroonians.
Okay. Now, how do we become, what does it, or where do we decide to be successful? What is, yes, that is the origin. When do we think that I want to be successful in life? Is it when the Holy Spirit descends, or
when you realize your purpose? Okay. For me, that's when you, because if you don't realize your purpose, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know why you were sent to earth, Matt Monroe says that normally the worst thing to happen to a man is to live and not know the reason why he's living. And this is a serious topic. People have gone to school, people have studied, they have visited prophets, they have visited native doctors, fortune tellers to tell them their purpose. But purpose is, at least purpose can be revealed, or you can discover it. There are purpose, people are specialized in helping you rediscover your purpose. Like what happens at Shape Academy, for instance. If you don't know your purpose, instead of you, like you enter an aircraft and you are flying to nowhere, it's important to pause and ask your direction. And that is why Shape Academy will definitely give you the opportunity to rediscover yourself. When you rediscover yourself at that moment, then you will know exactly that you are on the path to succeed.
Okay. Success begins when a young man, a young woman, or an old man, an old woman discovers that they are not just living to pass on earth. They are living to impact the world. They are living to leave a legacy for their family, for their community and nation.
Because, like that. Because for some people, life just happens to them. Today, they leave, they go out, they come back. The next day, you tell them, oh, we are going to watch a match here. They are there. We are going for a party. They are there. In fact, they are surprised about what is happening in the world. Right now, even in the midst of COVID-19, they don't yet understand where the world is heading to.
Okay, I want us to go to be practical. He just raised a point on a question I was going to ask you. Can we stumble into success? Is it a coincidence, or we just live our lives and say, I live all to God? I may be successful, I may not be.
Success is predictable.
Okay.
You don't just stumble in it. It's not some sort of, should I say, jackpot.
You're just living your life.
You're just living your life. No. The thing is, let me put it this way. We could apply that a little when one has discovered their purpose and have not been able to stumble on the profitable code of their purpose, because every purpose has a profitable part that people don't know. Now, we might only say that you stumbled into success because normally before you even start the part of succeeding, like he mentioned, you have discovered your purpose already. Purpose is existing. We know that, okay, this is what you're doing. Now once you get to that point that you can discover the profitable part, what is going to be yielding the profit in the purpose, that's success. And trust me, you cannot just discover the profitable part of your purpose just like that. It takes a continuous process. You working in that purpose, you toiling and working and discovering more, and the more you're discovering, that is where we can say you stumbled on the profitable part. It's like how you're selling so many things in the provision shop, and then because you're selling always, you discover that there's a particular product that gives more income.
But at least you were disposed already.
Yes, you were disposed already. At least you already had the shop. So success is something that you have, you know. If you're going to be successful, the truth is, no matter how people say I'm going to be successful or the like, if they will be successful, they know. But they might not tell you. Right from their innermost heart, they know if they're going to be successful or not. Success is not something you just stumble into. It is what is planned by your actions, by your today's actions, what you're doing today.
Since you say it is predictable, can we say that in younger children, you see a child who is in secondary school and tells you that I want to become a medical doctor, and you see the child walking towards that, I want to become a journalist, and you see the child walking towards that, away from children who just say I want to go to school, I want to get my degree, I just want to work. Is it also about setting targets and working towards meeting the targets? That's not just living a life without a target.
Exactly. That's why you talk. Even when we say purpose is predictable, success is predictable, it means that there are things that can actually indicate if this person is going to be successful or not. For instance, if a child tells you, I want to be an engineer, you know what it takes for that child to succeed there. The child must be good in the subjects that engineers study. Even if the child is not good, then the child must be consciously making an effort to improve on them and become the best there. Because you cannot stumble to it. You must follow the requirements for success. And again, they say if you hang around 5 billionaires, you are the next billionaire. If you hang around 5 broke people, you are the next broke person. That's what mindset 6 of the billionaire mindset is talking about. Associations. Those you are around them. Because when you are in a cycle that they start talking about big dreams, you are hearing people talking about their money in dollars, people talking about flights, people talking about building houses, people talking about developing ideas. That is in the success equation. That tells you that if you look at that person and you say, no, if you when you are growing up, there are some people that you admire, which means that you are going towards their direction. But you cannot say you want to be
a drunk.
Yeah. For instance, you cannot say you want to be a professor and you spend most of your time with drunkards. They say if a bad company corrupts, it's true. You have words like "show me your friends and I will show you who you are." We can actually try to play about it, but those you associate with have a very powerful impact in your life. Why? Because the conscious, your subconscious actually picks out things, especially the things that looks very really good. So what are the things that you discuss out there with your friends? You cannot be with your friends that you are meeting every evening. The only thing you can talk about drinks, talk about women. There is no way you will find yourself in the success equation. Success will not happen to you. In fact, you are just a time bomb that is waiting to explode.
Now, he's always getting into my questions. I don't know why. I was going to ask you to look at success and company. Does it matter?
Okay. Success and company. Let me go back to the same words. If you work with 9 broke guys, you become the 10th. Okay. You work with 9 rich guys, you become the 10th. Now, why is it like that? Why is company important? The truth is that the subconscious is programmed in such a way that it picks information even when you are not conscious of it. The subconscious mind works more with content, what it has in the inside, what it knows. And that is how it sends information. It sends now information to the conscious mind before the both of them start working together. Now then, when you're working with people, the first thing is that the words and the languages they use has a play on your mind, on your thoughts. And if you're working with people who are limited in their thoughts, their words will tell you, because some of the things they'll be saying will be a product of what they have in their mind. And now, when you take in such information, take in such words and all the like, the moment you are not beside them, it has a way it begins to sing in your mind. I always use this example that most of the times, you will never know you know how to sing a song until when you find yourself singing it. Why? Because maybe you're just living maybe you're living by a bar and they're playing this set music. You don't know that your subconscious mind is picking this song until the day you're asked to sing it. I asked somebody one time, I said, how do you learn songs without copying the lyrics? Because sometimes we just listen to songs and then we discover that we're singing them, but we didn't take down the lyrics. It's exactly the same thing that happens with company when you're with people. The more they are talking, the words are getting to you. And when you're beside people who have a mediocre mindset, who are okay, as in always comfortable. There are people who are always very comfortable. They are okay with anything that comes their way. It has a way it works with you. The same way when you're in school and you're preparing for exams, your own parents will tell you that don't work beside people who do not read. Because there is a way it happens, you know, when you're beside them and you're trying to read, when all of you are discussing, that's when they start giving you names like Mary Book and all the like. Exactly what happens to that company. Imagine that we're sitting here, the 9 of us, and we're discussing. Then all of a sudden, maybe we're talking about the telenovela. All of a sudden, you start talking about money. The remaining 8 of us will look at you as though you're sick. So your company has, I would say your company, away from information, that your company should have over 70% of a role it plays to your path to succeed. When you're beside people who are always daring what you know, daring your mindset, daring your actions, who are always out to get more, there's a way it starts propelling you. Because when you're beside them and they are talking so much of big, like, I remember when we used to be in secondary school, I had a friend who was always using some big words, and sometimes when he talks like that, I'm like, my God, where does this guy sleep? And because I don't want to seem foolish, I have to get to the point where I have to start learning. So imagine that you're beside people who are also getting so much information. The moment they start talking beside you, it's good. It has a way it pushes you. So our company matters so much.
The company matters so much. Good evening, sir. To me, success is defined in many ways, but the best definition is having a dream and never losing faith in what you can do and knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Your today doesn't define your tomorrow. You will always succeed if you never lose faith in your inner potential, and above all, put all your trust in God. Aku is writing from Douala. He says, I speak out of personal experience.
Okay.
That is, you have a dream and you make sure that you believe in it, irrespective of the failures. You said that already.
Yeah. And that's to add to what he has said. If you believe in your dream, you can always succeed. But the truth is, you must do whatever it takes to succeed. Believing is not enough.
That's the audacity.
You must be audacious. And that's what I say. I personally tell people, since I talk too much about financial empowerment, and that's where Tex Global comes in. If you walk into a seminar and your mindset is tilted towards anti-wealth, you're definitely going to come out reasoning like a billionaire already. That's why we talk about the billionaire's mindset. They reason differently. And mindset can be copied. Mindset can be transferred, which means that the environment that you find yourself in it.
That is, a successful man must take away this complex of poverty. I live in a quarter where everybody is suffering, and if I have to succeed, I know that the best I can become is a taxi driver, a truck pusher. But everybody, wherever you are, you must believe that what I think in what image I have, I must make it.
You have to make it, and definitely I'm going towards this, which is also one of the key areas of our concentration on audacity to success, economic audacity.
Okay.
Which means that you cannot actually, success takes more than just enough. That's why I say many people, their purposes have died. Why? Because they do not have the economic power to sponsor it.
Okay.
Go to like the other day, we like at Tex Foundation, for instance, you meet this type of people who they have this vision. There are people who can build empires, but they are just there. There is nothing that they can do. They don't have the power to even, the financial power to pay for the basic things that would actually help them to enhance their purpose. However, it happens that you must make it a conscious effort to stop complaining about, stop blaming everything. Put the blame on yourself. Success, the word success doesn't happen without you. So without you, you are the key person to play the role in your success. Any other person supports you. So I actually agree with him that you must believe in yourself and believe that you can succeed no matter what it takes.
Okay, Mr. Kum, I think before talking of success, I wish we should define success. Aga is writing from DOP. We started the program by asking what success is, and I'm sure they talked about it, saying that it also has to do with fulfillment. It has to do with meeting a purpose. It has to do with leaving a legacy, and not just riches. You could be rich and you have no legacy. You leave no impact, and that is not success. That's what we said earlier on. Hello, Prime. Success to me is working hopefully towards a desired goal and never giving up. The unshakable. Writing from Douala. Good evening to you. The unshakable.
I think he's actually explaining how to succeed. It's not success.
Okay.
Success is when you must have arrived at actually that which you envision, your dream, when you are living your dream.
Okay. Greetings, sir. Please, is success all about having money? I'm sure that was talked. It's not all about having money.
It's not about having money.
You could be very rich and you're not successful because you have not met your dreams.
Of course, because imagine a rich man who believes like, I read somewhere, you have a rich man who has a lot of money, he's impacting the community, but at home he feels that he's a failure. Why? Because as you're sitting at home, a police report is coming. This child has broken the law. This one has committed murder.
Okay, you did not also prioritize the bringing up of their children.
Yeah. So success, you cannot, to be successful, it happens, to be successful, you must have a successful home.
Okay.
You must have a successful business. If you're running a business, a successful career. That is where you can actually find fulfillment.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I love your program. Livy is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening to you, Livy. This one says, to be successful, you need to fear God, because the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God. It's Omekana writing from Yaoundé. Good evening, my media prime. I like the topic of today. It is often said, show me your friends, let me tell you who you are. Your choice of friendship, your future. Lazarus is writing from Bonaberry. Let us look at success and level of education. Does it really matter?
Success has literally nothing to do with your level of education.
Okay.
It's more about what you know. Because when it concerns Cameroon, we see education as going to school, sitting in the floors of the classroom and getting the formal education of nursery, primary school.
You're a professor.
Yeah.
Yes. You're an engineer.
If you look at it that way, then it means most of these people are not even successful.
Okay.
Because majority of them even did what had nothing to do with their dreams. Just because they wanted to just get a job that has a name and has a good salary in the country. A lot of people in the country are not living a successful life. So success really does not have anything to do with education. It has a lot more to do with knowledge. What you know, like I earlier mentioned. What you know about yourself. What you know about your community. Because successful people are problem solvers.
Okay.
The people who are solving problems. Now, if you don't know who you are and your capabilities, your abilities, and you don't know where you are as per the need of the society that you're living in, then you cannot be successful. But now most of the times people feel that to be successful you have to go through the normal educational system and all the like. I've seen cases where people feel that they can never command so much wealth or so much influence because they've not had a normal education that another person has had. Say maybe go to the university and all of that. But there are many people, we cannot start calling names now. There are many people who were successful and later even went to school, just went to school later. And most of these people went to school later because they just wanted to meet with the mindset of people. Like, okay, how come he has this money and he does not have master's degree? And you see the person just like, okay, let me just go. So at least when they want to talk, I should even say that I have a certificate. Meanwhile, the certificate did not contribute to anything that they have at the time. So it's not really about education. To most of us who are listening to me right now, don't feel that because you've not had a particular level of education that you cannot be able to, you cannot succeed. It's all about making the choice. Make the choice, know who you are, self-realization, know who you are, and discover the need of the community you're living in, and be able to provide the solution to it, and you live a fulfilled life and be successful. That's it. It's not about education. Now, you can be able to get knowledge. When I talked about knowing yourself and knowing where you are, it's all about information. And that is where most Cameroonians are failing. I think we're focusing more on Cameroon. Cameroonians don't like information. Okay, let's also don't like information. They want to know, but they are never at the point or at the places where you can be able to know. You organize personal development programs, they are not present. You put informations in writings, they are not willing to read. You could literally write something that has to do with the solution of somebody's problem and keep here, but because it's written, nobody will open it and it will stay there.
Okay, we are going to try to connect to it, Mr. Teke Samuel, this evening. Mr. Teke, if you are there, good evening and welcome. Hello, Mr. Teke. Seemingly still not too good. Can we have another try?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Will.
Okay.
And it's Mr. Fine. Yes, good evening.
Success. Who, according to you, is a successful man in Cameroon?
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so basically, I want to start by saying that the word success has been misinterpreted a lot of times. So, people begin, if you have a lot of material things accumulated, then you are successful. But a successful person is someone.
Hello, Mr. Teke.
So a successful person is someone who has the capacity to keep achieving things and keep impacting life. Your success is only counted when you have the ability to create or generate or raise successors. A successful person without a successor is a failure. So, who is a successful person? A successful person is someone who has a capacity to raise successors who are like him and sometimes more than him. If all you have done is to accumulate wealth into your bank account and buy big cars and build big houses, you are rich but not successful. A successful person is someone who has the capacity to achieve things from generation to generation. That means even when you are not, your name and the posterity you put in place still have the capacity to keep impacting your world even in your absence.
Yes, we were talking a while ago about company. Does it matter and level of education?
Say that again.
Hello, Mr. Teke, we are listening.
Now, your education is important. Education has a role to play as far as success is concerned. But education, I mean the normal education, what we go to school to learn, is not a determinant to your success. Having education is simply gathering information about a particular thing or a particular field of life. So you can get either formal or informal education. So if we are taking education in the general perspective, then education have a lot to as far as being successful is concerned. This is because education, which has to do with you getting information, has a lot to do with you gathering information about something you want to do. For example, you want to go into business. You need information about that business so you can do it successfully. If you want to go into a particular career, you need information about that career. But if the education we are talking about is the education of going to school and getting a certificate or picking up a degree, it's not a determinant to success. But if it's a general form of education which has to do with you carrying information and putting the information at work, then education has a lot to do with how far you can succeed.
And company, does it matter who you work with?
Yes. As a matter of fact, your company has a lot. There's a common saying that says your network is a product of your network. Your net worth is a product of your network. That means your circle, your social circle, determines how far you can go in life. Nobody grows beyond their social circle. The people you spend 90% of your time with determines what follows you. If you spend all of your time with downers, with people who talk failures, with people who don't care about the future, you will have no future for yourself. The you keep have a lot to do with how you can go in life. So your company, your social circle, your economic circle, your political circle, the people around you have a whole lot to do with how far you can go in life. One man said once, he said, it is not how much you know, but who you know. You can go to school, acquire all the degree, get all the certificate in this world. If you don't have a network of people who matters in society, it will be difficult for you to make it in life, because nobody grows as a loner, nobody succeed as a single person. Whether you like it or not, no matter how strict you are, you need people. There are certain signatures of some people that you need to validate you towards your destiny. You need people who can recommend you. That is why in the journey to success, the journey to making it big in life, relationship is one of the key factors. And that's why it's difficult for the average Cameroonian youth to actually make it, because they don't understand what relationship is. We abuse relationship. We don't respect people who are ahead of us. You see someone who has gone through the route you are struggling to tread, who has made a lot of parts in life. You insult them, you don't respect them because you think that probably you have little money in your pocket that can buy a bottle of drink. In other nations like Nigeria, there's a high level of respect that people have for elders. They don't insult people who are older than them just like that. So, relationship, network, your circle has to do if you have to go far in life. Because there are people who stand on their shoulders to see where you are going to. Until you build a perfect relationship with them, an effective relationship with them, it becomes very difficult for them to give you their shoulders to lean on. The things you can achieve in one day stand on the shoulders of someone who has experience and who has the influence. You can work for 50 years without achieving it. Sometimes, if you want to gain an overnight success, keep a perfect relationship with people who have gone ahead the road.
Okay, Mr. Teke, one last question for you. I will go back to your billionaire's mindset. You are the author of this book. I receive calls almost every day, people requesting this book, and I hope they are getting through to you guys for it. Now, let me read chapter summary. That is chapter 12 summary. It says that the first says, we were created and wired by God with everything we need to succeed, but we have that responsibility of bringing it into reality, to say that nobody is useless. Everybody has the potential to succeed.
Yes. Now that is this again should buttress the point that you need people in your life. Everybody has the potential to succeed. That means if God creates you, He creates a destiny inside of you and sends people to you to help you carry out that assignment. One person has the vision, but it takes a community to see that this vision comes to pass. So what are we supposed to do? First, everybody should understand that I have a role to play as far as the success of this nation is concerned, and as far as the success of my family is concerned, and as far as my success is concerned. So if every one of us stand up with the consciousness that we have a responsibility for the growth and the success of our lives and our nation, everybody will get to work. And if everybody gets to work, we all put our energy together, then success is easily achieved. I'll give an example from the Bible about the Tower of Babel. You know, when they were constructing this tower, these guys were building magnificent structures. The work was perfect. Why? Because they were unity and they were all working in code. But the very moment God discovered that their intentions were wrong, and the only thing God could do to stop them from moving ahead with their work is disunity among them. It means making these people believe that they are dependent upon themselves and they don't need anybody to succeed. The moment God divided their language, that was the end of that structure. The work collapsed. So we have to understand that as a nation, as a youth of this nation, there is a part of unity, there's a part of collaboration, there's a part of partnership that every one of us have to understand if we have to grow. My Media Prime, organization owned by someone, but the owner of that My Media Prime might not be a journalist, might not be a practicing journalist, might not be a manager, might not be a management consultant. So he needs the collaboration of other professionals to come together to make sure that this TV moves well, management runs well, and everything goes well. So there is a part for personal gifts for success, and there is a part for collaboration from others. All of this boils down to the word I describe as audacity, because it takes audacity, it takes courage, it takes ruggedity for you to be able to give out your life to someone that comes, let's partner together. It also takes courage for you to decide that whether it comes rain, comes sun, I have to succeed. Partnership, collaboration, network is important, but you cannot do that until
Okay, we are going to be getting back to Mr. Teke, but I'm going through summary chapter of the billionaire's mindset. The chapter 12 summary says, the fear of failure is the beginning of failure itself. If you are afraid of failure, then you are failed already.
Yes, the fear of failure is the beginning of failure. The definition of fear, Mr. Teke will say, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. Mm-hmm. So it depends on you, your own definition. Which one are you taking when it concerns the word fear? Mm-hmm. Are you afraid of, if you have, whatever you are afraid of, by the way, this is what happens, that when you keep telling somebody, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and you never tell the person, do this. The truth is, over and over, that person will be doing what you ask them not to do because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. And that's what happens whenever you focus on fear. So many of us are so afraid of failing that we forget to think about success. But we fail to understand that the only way to combat failure is to think more about success, because what you think about more is what you attract. Mm-hmm. But it's more about, I don't want to fail. It's like the consciousness that the poor and the rich have. When the poor are getting into business, they get into business not to lose. Mm-hmm. And the rich people are getting into business to succeed. These are two different mindsets. You are afraid not to lose. I don't want to lose. And it makes you to think so much about failure that even to take risks that is necessary for you to be able to attain what you have to attain, it's a problem. So when you are afraid of failure, that is the beginning of the failure that you are thinking about. What you should be thinking more about is success.
They say he who risks nothing has nothing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So the more you're thinking about success, is like what we mentioned last time about what the universe does. When you're thinking so much about failure, what happens is that your mind is what begins to send information to the universe. As you send information to the universe is wired in such a way that it starts bringing things that we say cause failure, that will start giving you the hint of failure around you. But when you're thinking so much about success, it's also sending information to the universe, and the universe starts sending vibrations towards your direction that is going to bring opportunities for success. Now, when people are afraid of failure, they get to the point where even when they meet opportunities, the fear of failure stands as scales in their eyes, and they cannot discover these opportunities, and that is where failure begins in itself.
Okay, Mr. Liu, I think success is all about setting a goal, working towards your goal, and eventually achieving your goal. Riches is not success. Livinus is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening to you, Livinus. Good evening, Mr. Liu. The program is interesting. The company you make determines your future. Bad company corrupts good character. Lizette, writing from Kamer. Good evening to you, Lizette. Appreciate hard times. Someday there'll just be another chapter in your success story. Best friends are the people in your life that make you laugh louder, smile brighter, and live better. Good evening to you all. Kevin is writing from Chang. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Dennis from Yaoundé. Many people misunderstand success for riches or wealth. Success has nothing to do with any of the above. It is about living a life that gives you satisfaction. So success is not something that can be seen, because it all depends on the individual in question. Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu, and your panelist. I'm Husseini Mohammed, writing from Bamenda. To be successful in life, you have to stop looking for silver bullets, start creating better goals, stop looking for validation, start living your dreams, stop looking for a mentor, start building your expertise, and stop blocking yourself. Being successful isn't necessarily about being rich or winning award. It can be also about personal fulfillment. Now, Mr. Buji, we are talking about, I'm summarizing chapter 12 of the Billionaire's Mindset. It says, we are the architects of whatever happens to us, be it success or failure. So, from this, who we are or become is a product of our handwork. Yes, we make who we become. And also, we should shun this attitude of always accusing. I am not this because you did this. I am not that because you.
Of course, remember that this topic this point actually came up in our last discussion, where we said sometimes you get up and you start. The moment you start giving the blame game, know that you are on your way to failure. You blame the government, you blame your parents, you blame your great-grandfather. Why were you not born in Dangote's family? If Dangote has asked the question, if Dangote has asked that very question, he wouldn't have been the richest man in Africa. It's not the family that he came from. It is his decision to become successful. Because we know a lot of people who come from very successful homes, but they are not successful, which means that they actually took a decision that they will be failures. Now, I watched a documentary where there is these two sons. One father has two sons. The father is a drunk. So anytime he comes home, he beats the children, he beats the mother. And then these children look at it. One of them decided that I want to become the opposite of my father. The other one said, because my father is a drunk, he copied the behavior of the father. Always trying to, in fact, my father is a drunk, by the way, is good. So that one actually chose failure. In the future, the son that copied the father, he became a failure and he was in prison. The mother visited him in prison and said, but what happened? He said, how I used to watch you and that fight, I used to hear him use some type of nasty words. There was nothing that's a word. Because when that, as he drinks, he blames the government, he blames everybody around him. And the other son said, I looked at my father's life and I said, this is not the life that I want. I don't want this type of life. So he decided to change, avoid the things that the father did that will lead him to drinking. He studied. He had one of the best marriage with children, but he's a successful person, even creating impact in his society. While the other brother, they are even twin. The other one is in prison. So it ties to the fact that it is you that decides if you are going to be successful or you are going to fail.
Okay, so we should not blame others for our failures. We have to work for our success. If you are afraid of losing money, you will also be afraid of making and keeping it. And the other one says that the only solution to poverty is the introduction to money, not prayer. Mr. Teke, I want you to take this one. Mr. Teke, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, we are on the billionaire's mindset, although we are talking about the audacity to succeed. Now, the billionaire's mindset is there. If you want a copy, please get to us. We hand you one. The fifth summary says the only solution to poverty is the introduction to money, not prayer, not fasting. Learn to apply the proper solution to problems and life will be much easier.
All right, okay. So this concept is very simple because I realized it and it has been working for me. Now, the money, like I always say, is very easy to make money than to manage a relationship. The secret to wealth creation is to learn to solve problems for people. Everybody you see on planet Earth is a wealth bank for whatever amount of money we are looking for. But the problem is, you cannot take it from them. You cannot take money from them by force. These people, with all of the wealth they have problems that needs to be solved. For you to be able to get money from them, solve a problem for them. If you solve problem for people, you will make a lot of money. Now, I want all of our viewers to get this. There are three sets of people. I was studying today and I came up with this conclusion that there are three sets of people on planet Earth. We have the poor people, we have the rich people, and we have the wealthy people or the successful people. The poor people are people who always think about money. They think of how much money they want to get. They think of how they want to get money. They pursue money. The criteria or the characteristics of a typical poor man is a person who always pursues money. Whatever it is they are doing in life is to pursue the goal to have money. And such people can never have money because money will not come to you because you pursue it. The second class of people are the rich people. Rich people always want to get money. So they work, they gather money, keep it in the bank, buy big cars, buy big house, they sit down and feel that they are successful, they are satisfied. And they say, wow, I have made it, now I'm a big person. That's the second class of people on earth. But the third class of people are the wealthy or the successful class of people. These guys don't pursue money. These guys don't accumulate money. These guys create money. They create avenues where wealth flow into their system through the work that other people do for them. And then they in turn impact their generations and build posterity. So, what are we supposed to do? If you want to be rich and successful, don't pursue money, don't accumulate money, create avenues that will solve problems for the world and people will give you money. If you want to be millionaire in pounds, go and find out the problem in UK, solve it and you will have pounds. If you want to be millionaire in dollars, solve United States problems and you will have dollars. If you want to be millionaire in Cfa, solve Cameroon problem and you will have millions in Cfa. The solution, the question is simple. Problem solving equal to money. As simple as that. Get people, solve problems for them, and you will make money. It's that simple. But now the question is, how do I identify problems? How do I solve problems? That is where the place for mentorship, the place for education, the place for programs, the place for meetings like the audacity of success comes in, where a certain degree of energy is infused in your system. I will push you to go ahead and look for problems. I listened to one man of God's video. They call him Benson Idauza. He said while he was going to church, he read the Bible, and the Bible says Jesus raised the dead. And he stood up and started moving the street. I was asking people, do you have anyone that is dead in your family? I want to raise them. He was moving with his bicycle from house to house, looking for someone that is dead so he can raise them from the dead. And all of a sudden, I will start again. I told God, this is your word. I want this to work for me. After the seventh attempt, he laid hands on the dead person and the dead child skipped up again and started breathing. That was the day his faith and his name went abroad, and he became the greatest man of the audacity of success. You will through your courage to go and look for problems and solve them. Instead for the problem to meet you, go and look for problems, solve the problems, and people money.
Okay, one last, there's something you did not address. It also had to do with fasting and prayers. You touched it, but the 6 says you cannot substitute your money problems with prayer and fasting.
Yes,
they want to talk about that?
Because money doesn't fall from heaven any longer. God has placed avenues on earth. Every money we are looking for is on planet Earth. So going to church to pray and fast for money is a wasted effort. It's a waste of energy. Why then do we have to pray and fast? The only reason why we pray and fast, number one, we pray to have a communication with God. Then we fast to boost our spiritual life, but not for us to have money. Fasting and prayer will not give you money. Fasting and prayer can give you spiritual protection, but it will not give you money. So if you want to have money, all the avenues for wealth creation is on earth. Go and work. After you finish your fasting and prayers, go and work, because the money will not come because you fast and pray. The money will come because you got to work. So get to work. When God created Adam in the Garden of Eden, God did not tell him, Adam, go and be praying. No. God told him, get into the garden, trim the garden, take care of the tree, because that is where your daily meal will come from. So our daily meal, our survival, our income, our cash, our wealth will not come from the church, will not come from the altar of fasting and prayers. It will come from the altar of work, because God himself is the one that created work, and work is created for property. Yeah. When you work, you get paid. The Bible says that a laborer is worthy of his wages. The Bible also says that whatever a man sows, that is what he will reap. He said, do not be deceived, because God is no more. So if you pray, what you will get is prayer. If you fast, what you will get is fasting. But if you work, what you will get is wages. There are no two ways about it.
When you pray and fast, they say God will bring you destiny helpers now. There will be open heavens and miracle jobs, and something miraculous could happen.
Okay, the thing is, most times, even our pastors help to mislead us. I'm sorry to say this. But when the Bible talks about open heavens, the Bible talks about opportunities. As a matter of fact, open heavens are in human beings. Open heaven always come as human beings on earth. So when God talks about open heavens, he talks about creating channels on earth that you will have those opportunities for you to have to be able to meet up to your needs. Now, if for example you're looking for a job and you go, you pray, avenues have been opened. But if you don't take your application to go and submit them to the various offices that you have to, no company will call you from your house and say, hey, I saw you in my dream, and the Lord said I should employ you. It doesn't work that way. You should be able to have dropped your CV somewhere, and then when you pray, the universe or God will touch the heart of those people, and they'll go through your CVs and they call you. But if there is no CV, if there is no contact your CV for them to call, there's no way they can get to you. There's no way they can reach you. So what is open heaven? Open heaven, or what you call miracle, is another human being on earth. Another human being that the Spirit of God will enter into them, touch their heart to get to you. But you have your own role to play, to have access to those people. If you don't have any CV to view, if you don't make an attempt to apply for a job, and you go and pray, brothers and sisters, you will remain in church and be hungry. You have to go out, apply, look for the job first, then you pray for God to concretize it.
Okay, I will come back to our studio here with those who are here. Does it matter your background, where you come from? Say you are from a very broke family, nobody has succeeded. You are from a very broke community where you don't have network now, you don't have connections, you don't know people. Does it really matter?
That's part of the blame game.
Okay.
You can't be focused on your environment. Although the environment might have its way per your mindset, but I believe that you can be able to scale through out of there. Because although you're in a particular environment, does not mean that you're going to spend like all of your life there. But what you can possibly do is that whatever place, whatever environment you find yourself at, or whatever background you find yourself at, you can be able to make that choice, that decision, to be the one to change the narratives of that particular background. Most of these people, we've heard their testimonies on how they made money. If you go back to their background, you will hear some funny testimonies, some funny stories. But now, why is it that some other people use those backgrounds as stepping stone, and why others are using that same background as a drawback, something to holding them back? So it still comes back to the aspect of choice. But if you want to look at your background has nothing to do. All what you need to do is to be able to try to build a network away from the background. Just try to build a network, because you cannot be a part of a problem and try to solve it. So you need people who can be able to stand from out of that problem and hold your hand. It's like what Mr. Kmer mentioned about relationship, that some of us don't understand the importance of relationship. So your background has just something very little. The only thing your background plays is that it gives you a particular mediocre mindset. That's just it. Like, okay, you're used to seeing this particular type of buildings. It's like how you get to somebody that asks that, what plan of your house will you want? There's a plan they will give you. Take them to Dubai and bring them back. Immediately as they come back, the plan they had in their mind about the house changes automatically. So what happens is you just have to make up your mind to be able to step out of that background, but your background can never be a reason why you should not make it in life. Just make up your mind, make the decision to step out of that background. And stepping out of it starts by a decision. Decide first of all, and identify that your background is a problem. Some people don't even know that their background is a problem to them. So identify that the background is a problem and don't stay in it. Decide to step out of it by getting information about what happens away from the background that you found yourself in. And immediately as you can be able to get that information, that is what is going to propel you. It's like how you've been in a pit for too long. The day you have a glimpse of light, you will always want to step out of that pit to go and get that light. So always try to create avenues where you can get hold of some light that can be able to walk you out of that background. But never stand someday somewhere and say that you were broke or you're unsuccessful.
You were ordained to be broke. I get
it's a funny mindset. Some people feel like, I don't know why it's like that though. I was somewhere today and we're talking about.
I know get lucky like you.
Yes, I was somewhere today and we're talking about something like this actually. So they're asking some questions, and I responded to a lady, and I told the lady that you can be a businessman, you can be an entrepreneur, be a CEO. A CEO is a profession. You could be a founder of a business and not the CEO of the business. You can be the businessman, the entrepreneur, the CEO. You can be a co-creator. You can be able to make so much money while working under somebody. You can find so much fulfillment while serving under somebody. Now, a lot of people, the reason why I'm giving this example is because some people say that if all of us are maybe CEOs or entrepreneurs, who works for who? But there is something I've learned called a 360-degree leader. People will lead from every angle and gain fulfillment from every angle and make money from every angle.
Okay, which means that even if you are a simple, like Joseph now, though he was a prisoner, but he led even in the prison. So now we are talking about success. Do we have to do or talk about sacrifice? Do you need to make sacrifices to be able to leave from the position of say suffering to success?
Of course, there is a price. If you want to succeed, you must pay a price. Okay, I put it, I always like to draw back examples from me. When I left high school, I realized at that time that what I was doing, the initial dream that I had was actually, it was wrong wired. And where the world was heading to, I could not, in fact, I was going towards the wrong direction, because based on my orientation, as we talked about the topic we're discussing, the career choices. So I realized I've done something. What I was doing was not what I actually want to do. So what happened at that time? My dad's intention is to send me to the university. Let me study this, or I should go to a teacher training college. I said, Daddy, I am not going to do this. Now, I have to dare that because I was already at a stage where I already recognized what I wanted to do. I want to do ICT. At that time, he's going for retirement. He told me, son, I cannot use my retirement benefits to do this. How will I survive? So I said, okay, I needed to sacrifice. I even sacrificed my personal relationship with him because we were very close. Like, he knows everywhere we introduce that, no, this job chair. So I had to sacrifice something. I fall out with him. And what did I do? I decided to learn something. And that's why I would challenge you that it is, Mr. Teke has been talking lately about certificate, no certificate. What can lead you is what you know. Acquire a skill, something that people need. We are going back to the solution area. So now after a while, I got it. I decided to do to acquire a diploma in a vocational training institute on ICT, computer security, executive secretarial duties. Why my initial idea is not to end there, but to do computer engineering. So after a while, I had to save the money. I had to start getting contacts, getting work jobs from people. I maintained a very good relationship with the people that came and did work in the secretariat where I was in. And the moment after 2 years, I already knew more than what was, at least what the university graduates were doing. I knew how to do it, but I did not have a certificate to actually back that up. So that was then that I applied to do computer engineering with specialty hardware maintenance. It happened that 2 weeks before that time, they called me. Imagine same university, and they said they want somebody who can actually teach information and communication technology there. I thought that they were calling me to come and that at least I've been admitted, but they called me for that. Then what triggered me to share this story is because of what you call the power of recommendation. Mind the way you treat people, mind the way you connect. When you see people who are succeeding, be careful the way you're. In fact, the key to your success lies in somebody's hand. Of course. There was a time that I get to a gate and simply I treated the gate man nicely. And he was already very tired and frowning. I caused him to laugh. And they had already closed the gate. I was late because I'm involved in traffic. Now, he told me, when he realized the way I treated him, what happened is, he said, Oga, we have already closed, but I will do something for you. So your relationships matter. So I realized I was recommended by over 10 people when they were searching for somebody who can actually handle that. The director of the university told me that, sir, in this century, it's no longer, look, Jagma lectures in the university. That's somebody who was rejected as a teacher. But he went back to the university to lecture because of what he knows. If he comes to business, he can teach you everything that is in relation to that. So I think we can decide to succeed, and we will consciously do that.
You have something to do to add to sacrifice. You must forego certain things to attain what you are seeking.
Yes, I think the first thing you have to sacrifice when it concerns success is your personal pleasures. I will always use this statement that comfort and conviction are never neighbors. They are never twins. They can never live in the same house. If you're convicted about something, know that you're walking out of your comfort zone. If you want to be successful, the first thing you will sacrifice is those things that gives you pleasure. Success does not come to people who are always so okay with everything.
They enjoy from morning to night.
Yes, from morning to night. It's very common in where. If you want to know where life and enjoyment goes, it's funny enough. It's in the zone where students are. In
Moliko.
Yeah. That's why Mr. Teke always tell us that when you leave school, never you live beside students. If you want to step out of their lifestyle, don't live beside them. Now, going back to what you asked about sacrifice, you have to get to the point where you can be able to walk out of those things that are not profitable. It's always very difficult. It's like how a but still say Mr. Teke always mentioned, he used to use an example that when you are any action you are doing, ask yourself that who is making money from the action. The moment you lift up a bottle of Guinness, you're making the brewery industry rich. Whatever you are doing, which firm are you impacting? So ask yourself now that when people are doing their own activities, which activity are they doing that is also making me rich? We see that most of the times we're focusing more on what is giving us pleasure for the moment,
but not bringing returns.
Yes, I'm not bringing returns. But if you want to be successful, you have to go more for what is going to give you long-term satisfaction, not what will give you maybe satisfaction just for the moment.
Okay.
And that's the first thing we have to work out of, just the leisure. If we can work out of those things that we feel are making us comfortable, then we'll be able to get to the point of conviction.
Okay. But we must do that with the consciousness that we want to meet a target. So it's like fasting without prayers.
Yes, it's like fasting.
I think to add to what she's saying, is there a price to pay? Yes, there is a price to pay. Mr. Teke, as is like that, he will tell you that he sleeps barely 3 hours, or sometimes I wonder if he sleeps.
Yeah.
He sacrificed the sleep. But the worst thing to do to somebody who loves sleep is to tell them that 1 hour you are in trouble. But if you want to succeed, you must be able to sacrifice sleep. You should be able to sacrifice relationships that are not productive. Sacrifice the validation from public. You need to actually understand what price do you have to pay. If it means that you have to save somebody, save the person. Pride will not pay your bills. If to succeed, you need to. Edward says, for instance, let me get back to multi-level marketing. He says that to succeed in it, you must be able to lost your self-esteem from people, from the society who will not approve of that, even from family, from friends, and everybody, because you are looking at what will this person think. You need to sacrifice that off. The validation from people that they will hail you, oh, you are good, but you are broke. So you have to. If it's pure pride, sacrifice it. If it's a friendship that is not going to lead you anywhere, sacrifice it. If it's the food that you love so much, sacrifice it. If it's spending money, sacrifice it.
Okay, Mr. Teke, success, as we are talking about, many persons want to be successful, but they fail to understand that the ropes or the strings holding them from their success are the things they are not willing to trade off in their lives. They are not ready to pay a price. It appears Mr. Teke is not there. Okay,
he's there.
Mr. Teke, you are there. We are talking about paying a price to be successful. You must pay a price.
Say that again.
I'm talking about many persons. Many of us want to be successful. I myself, I want to be successful, but I may just not be aware of the fact that what is keeping me to getting to that level of success that I actually crave after. Those strings that I'm not ready to let go. That is sacrificing, paying a price to getting to where I want to be.
All right. Success cannot be complete without sacrifices. And sacrifices ranges depending on how successful you be. Your level of success, the level of success you want to have in life can determine the amount of sacrifice you are ready to do. For example, I always say this story, I always tell people this, that I stayed for 7 years without hearing from any of my family members, between 7 to 8 years, and nobody in my family heard about me. I sacrificed my family's relationship. I sacrificed certain things about my life. I know, okay, let me say this on air. I stayed for over 5 years. I had no girlfriend. I had no relationship. There was nothing about girlfriend in my life. Because at that moment, I needed to concentrate and build myself. So everything about girlfriend, anything that looked to me like a distraction, I put it out. Up to today, I don't take alcohol, not because I am on the that alcohol is bad, but it was a sacrifice I had to do. I don't go out a lot because I made a sacrifice from why I was struggling to make it in life. There are sacrifices you have to do. Success cannot go without sacrifice. You either have to learn to sacrifice your time, you will sacrifice your money, you will sacrifice relationship, you will sacrifice your pleasure just for you to have a treasure tomorrow. Not ready to make sacrifices. If you're not ready to let go certain things in your life, then you're not ready for success. For example, if you're not ready to let certain habits like excess alcoholism, you're not ready to let certain habits like too much tobacco, you're not ready to let excess habits like a whole lot of friends around you, then you are not ready for success. So the major sacrifice you can take for your life is to abandon today's pleasure for tomorrow's treasure. If your tomorrow have to be successful, there's a lot of pleasure you have to abandon today, which is a huge sacrifice, almost an impossibility for most Cameroonian youth to do.
Mr. Teke, there is this common there's this common saying that a fool at 40 is a fool for life, which means that your years or your destiny is ruined. Can one be successful after 40 years of failure? Can one actually be crowned as a successful person after 50, 65 years of age?
As a matter of fact, if I have to be different, I would like to say that life begins at 40.
Okay.
Life truly begins at 40. That moment where you think you have done everything and there's nothing else to do and you are about giving up, that is when life begins. So life for you begins the very moment you discover what you were supposed to do. So it doesn't matter how many times you have failed. It doesn't matter how old you are. I have trained people who are 60, 65, and they pick up from somewhere, and today they have started counting their millions. As of 2017, there were a group of retirees that I was training in Kmer. I did a 1-month program for them. Every weekend, I would be in Kmer training them. Some of them were retired headmasters, retired principals, retired delegates, and today, all of these guys are investors in Text Global, and they have made a fortune. At 60, some of them were 65, some were 70. As long as you have breath that you are taking in, and you have the capacity and the intention to learn, that is when your day begins. So there is nothing like a fool at 40 is a fool forever. That is a statement that is meant that the devil is using to destroy the entire world. Your life should even begin at 40, because from 0 to 25 is a period where you have to be learning. From 25 to 40 is a period where you have to experience. So if you are unfortunate right up to 40 and nothing has come good out of your life, you have had a lot of series of failures. When you clock 40, that is when you should start life. Start learning all over again. It won't cost you anything, because a man who has failed several times learns faster than a man who has never had experience before. The best way to learn faster is when you have several times. If you are 40 years old, I want to challenge you that this is a time for you to start. Attend Audacity of Success on the 10th of April, and your life will turn around for good. What you will learn for one day will give you 10 years fast forward success. I am telling you. At 40, that is when your life should start.
You say they should attend what? Audacity for Success summit coming up. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. There is an Audacity for Success, a summit coming up on the 10th of April. And the target is for 1,000 Cameroonians to attend that meeting. And we are going to be revealing secrets about life that schools will never be able to teach you. And that's why we are inviting everybody to be a part of that meeting.
You want to become a success in your family, your community, And when many persons have written you off, they still hope. You are telling everybody who is considered a waste in their family, their communities, that no, nothing is lost. They still have to believe, and that the opportunities are right before them, staring them in the face.
What I always like to use is nothing is impossible. It is only you that know how old you are. Nobody else does. Your flesh does not know how old you are. You are the only person that knows that you are 40 years old. Your energy is still alive. The moment you can work on your brain, you can live 10 years younger than your age if you can only work on your mind. Old age is a matter of the mind. If you can transform your mind, you can live 10 years, 20 years younger than your age. So you can see someone that is 40 years old and is still living his life as if he's 20 because he has been able to transform his mind. One of the things I want to teach people at the conference, the Audacity of Success, is how to be able to breathe life again. I'm going to take them into a meditative period, a session where they will meditate and breathe youthfulness into themselves. So all of those that think that they have grown old, they are 30, they are 40, they are 50, and they are getting tired of life, I will show them how to breathe fresh energy into their lives and how to be able to make it all over again. I'm going to show them how to bring the energy at 20, even while you are 50. I'm going to show them. All of these are the things we're going to teach at the Audacity of Success. That's why it's called Audacity, because it's the move that is uncommon. It's a move that is not common in our society.
Okay, I will get back to your collaborators who are here in the studio with me. You say success begins when you start believing in what you have and are willing to sell to people who are in need of it. It means you cannot sell what you don't have now?
Yes, you cannot sell what you don't have. The point is that most of us, we already have something to sell, but we don't know who even needs what we're selling. So a lot of us face difficulties when coming up with creating a product that can be able to attract wealth, in the point where we just come up with a product because we see other people selling that product, but we don't discover the need first and then be able to create the product. So if we are getting to the point where we want to be successful, we have to be able to match our product to those who want to buy, those who are willing to buy. People go more after value. So you should be asking yourself, how will I be able to convince them to be able to pay for the value of the product that I have? But this is what some people do. Take for instance, if you go to typical cases, I'm sorry I'm saying this on air, but I used to liken the way they sell in the market here in Douala and the way they sell in Boya. There are two different ways. You get to somebody's shop here in Douala, the person, before you want to even get there, they're calling for you to come and buy. You go to Boya and you're asking somebody who is selling here, and the person is seated. That's exactly what happens when it concerns selling.
Which you want to buy?
Yes. The way the face they even give you ask yourself, like, is it somebody who actually came to the market to be able to convert their products with money, to be able to exchange? Yes, do they even need money? That's it. Some people take selling as a normal something, like, okay, let me be able to just fend for myself at the moment. But if we want to be able to create wealth from our products, then we are supposed to have what to sell. But what you are selling should be from a place of need, what people need. Because it is what people need that will guide you into creating a product that people will be willing to buy. And then the next thing is, when you create this product, get back to the market, the people you created this product for. How are you going to get them to buy this your product and be willing to exchange your product with money? Because another problem is that people get to the point where they do have businesses and they sell products that people are not willing to exchange with finances. But if you can be able to add value to what you're doing as concerning your product, then people will be able to exchange your product for money. And that is how the success point comes when it concerns businesses. And that's what most of us have failed to be able to implement.
Okay. We also see that is a summary of the billionaire's mindset. Summary of chapter 13. It says, let people know your worth and they will hire your services and then pay for it. It means that you must at least have something to sell, and the people must identify that value. She talked about value. Yes, and they will be ready to pay for it.
Actually, you are not paid by, you're not just paid for paying sake. You're not given money. If you say you have money, you exchange money with something, the value you bring to the marketplace is proportionate to the amount of money that you make. So if you want to make $1 billion, you need to bring value. For instance, look at the one-time richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos. He's a seller. That's how I describe him, because I love sales and marketing. So if you cannot sell something and you want to be rich, it's very difficult. All rich people are selling something. Dangote is selling sword. He's selling cement. In fact, he sells what you are not expecting. But you see some of youth in Cameroon, I cannot sell something. You cannot even sell yourself. 1 minute, even sell yourself. What do you do? Like what she's just saying, get into somebody's shop and the person gives you attitude. The person has not sold himself first. Yeah. And you remember that wherever you have a good wherever you have a good reception, you always go back to that shop. The taxi man who carries you, sometimes the way they take care of you, you go back. But for us, you just think about, at least because you went there, you're looking for job money for that day. So,
and you care very little about the investment.
You care very little about investment. In fact, when you increase your value, and there's some people that don't want to actually save somebody because they will not know your value if you are not available.
Yeah.
There are times that you actually even volunteer, do something for people for free. I've done people things for free, and they have recommended me, or they have come back and actually asked, I want. Or imagine someone says, how can you do that? You just see someone doing something the wrong way, and you do it in a professional way, and you send to them, and they just say, okay, that's just for someone sends you 10,000 francs just to appreciate what you did. You want to see tomorrow they recommend you, because the value that you have and you don't expose it, nobody will buy. Nobody will buy. You need to make it available. If it means going out there and trumpeting yourself with social media now, you can sell anything. You can sell anything. You must be able to create valuable content around what you're selling. If you're a farmer, educate other farmers, educate the buyers on the product that you've just produced. So you must be able to create value continuously, because as time is going, companies that are not bringing additional value to the market, they are going out. Yeah. If you're in the Cameroon market, what problem are you solving in the Cameroon market?
Greetings from Douala, it's Fruit Chair. Thanks for your program. My contribution is that it all starts with an idea and how passionate you are to the idea. Good evening to you. This one says, good evening to you guys in the studio. Same to you. Good evening to you. Good evening to you all in the studio. I really love the program. May God bless you people for the wonderful knowledge. Yes. Sama is writing from Douala. Good evening to you, Sama. This one says, we the youth of Cameroon need to practice all this to be successful. Vincent K writing from Bamenda says, to think, idea, try, do again and again. Keep doing, and then that will lead you to success. Hello, Anita Eno Takan writes says, hello and good evening. Sacrifices are needed for success. Everyone must have their own 40 days and 40 nights to come out successfully. To me, good evening, sir. I'm really inspired by the program, The Audacity of Success. Please, I would like to get a copy of the book, The Millionaire Mindset is a Billionaire Mindset. Just call the numbers on your screen and they will hand you one. Mohammed Bello Nuhu, writing from Yaoundé. To me, success is directly related to financial freedom, which entails having enough passive income to live the lifestyle you desire. This one says, wisdom is evident when you use knowledge and skills to solve problems. If you want more money, solve more problems. Money is just a measure of value, so add more value in your society so that you can get money in return. Marcellus Pezenui, writing from Fumbat. Mr. Ewan, writing from Kumba, says, I define success as living my true purpose and having a positive impact on the lives of people by uplifting them and inspiring them to think and act in ways that they may not have considered before. It could mean a sense of accomplishment and career progression. It could mean being able to do the things you love. Good evening, Mr. Liu. More grace to your work. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. I'm Elvis Epierre from Boya. I'm so amazed with the program. I'm learning a lot. Thanks. Thank you too. Good evening, Mr. Liu. When we talk about it should analyze based on what an individual envision. Just like Mr. Teke has elaborated, in any angle an individual deemed to emerge successful, he or she must undergo either the formal or informal education. For instance, receiving an advice from a friend concerning a business engagement is a formal or of informal education. Mr. Liu, irrespective of what aspect of success, any format of education must be responsible for its feasibility. Metam Augustine, writing from Moliko in Boya. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I love this program and your panelists. I can't wait to meet Miss L in Shep Academy. I love her and her energy. Success to me is all about creating an idea, taking action towards that, and touching life. Alex is writing from Boya. Hello all, my husband and I witness. Okay, no, this is not a family issue, please. We're talking about success. I love that one human being is useless. Even the mental sick persons are very important for community or nation's economy. Ara is writing from, okay, you meant to say no human being is useless, okay? This one says, I agree 1000% with Mr. Teke. Your social circle is a great boost. I had friends who kept having dreams that sounded crazy and did everything to ensure that their dream come true. And it was from them that I actually had motivation which got me going ahead. Good evening, and good evening, panelists in the studio and Cameroonians. Success is hard work and determination. In anything you do, you have to be determined no matter the challenges. Two-star artist writing from Boya. Good evening to you. Let me take some.
The Boya people are much this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when we started, most of the messages came from Yaoundé. Good evening. I love the program. How much is the book and where can we find it in Bamenda? Can you just call the number on your screen? Good evening. Thank you for that program. I like the program. I'm Bertrand. Bertrand, call and you'll be able to participate on the program. Thanks, Mr. Liu. This your program is a powerful one. I also thank Mr. Teke for his advance to me personally. Teche Ignatius, writing from Bonaberi in Douala. Stop calling, just send a text message. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please ask the panelists if those that nature have also cheated them with disabilities have also have a place in their domains. Mbaku is writing from Bamenda. I'm sure, Mbaku, can you just call? Good evening, Mr. Kum. Here are the principles about success. Your thoughts controls your words. Your words control your actions, and your actions will determine your destiny. If you notice a man whose life is full of failure or troubles, his problems didn't come from the job, businesses, or from the hardship he's experiencing around him. No, it started from his ways of thinking. Your mind is where the problem started from. Chibuzo, writing from Douala. Everyone has the mindset of being successful, but the tendency to succeed is too low. God has a package for everyone, and everything here on earth is all his. Success is to attend prayers and hard work. Just want to ask you people in the studio whether you are successful or not. Thanks. Emmanuel from Du Aka, the big brother. Oops, the messages are so many. We are going to end here, Mr. Teke. One last word for our viewers before we wrap the program.
All right, thank you so much. And I want to say a big thank you to my wonderful team, Mr. Buji and Miss Ed. And a big thank you to you, Mr. Leonard. To all our viewers, all we want to say is 2021, I am ready. My team is ready to take you to whatever level you want to go into. Don't forget to be a part of Audacity of Success 2021, 10th of April. God bless you. And we are going to be giving a lot of discounts. And you should be a part of this program. We also have an amazing project coming up called Tax Money. We have the students in check. We want to make sure money gets into everybody's pocket in 2021. I love you all. God bless you. And see you when we meet again.
Okay. Thank you to Miss L for coming.
Thank you So much, sir. I'll just add to what Mr. Teke said. Make sure you participate in the upcoming program on the 10th of April, the Audacity for Success. And like he mentioned, there's a discount that is ongoing because registration for the program is 25,000 francs. But we are going to give a discount from now, probably to mid-March. We'll have a discount that is going on. So those who get to us to be able to pay in for the registration will pay a sum of 15,000 francs. That's what we've decided. Mr. Teke decided to give a discount, so we're following up with that so that we can be able to have so many people coming. Make sure you're not coming alone, but you're inviting somebody to join us at on this program, the Audacity for Success. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. What is to be will be. Thanks for this lesson. Small grace, let love lead. Agendia, Sylvester, writing from Kumba. Okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for our wonderful audience. I can actually see they already, in fact, from their message, you actually see the entrepreneurship spirit already coming up. And I would love to invite them for Tex Global events that are coming up, where we are going to teach you how to become an agricultural billionaire in the agri sector. In fact, we are revolutionizing agriculture in Africa. And we'll be having an event in Yaoundé on the 13th of March at the Joga Palace, 2 p.m. We will teach you how to master wealth mastery, agricultural investment opportunities, how to plan for your retirement. In fact, a guide to investing, because we have a lot of situations that people invest their money in wrong places and they end up crying. And as Cameroonians, we actually feel so bad about it. As well as the other bigger events will be taking place in Boya on the 20th. In fact, it's a mega event organized by the head office. You can imagine. So to my beautiful Boya people, be a student. In fact, retirement will not become part of us. We teach you how to definitely scale through your finances through agricultural opportunities.
Okay, good evening, sir. This is Mr. Julius writing from Gabon. I love the way you are taking the program, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Liu. With all due respect, I salute you all in the studio. My name is Sandy Bright from Douala. According to me, I think that the recipes of success is hard work, determination, and sacrifice. Thank you very much for adding to our debate this evening. This one says, I'm watching my Media Prime pay. I'm Mr. Buji on TV. Okay. Good evening to you guys. I like your program, especially. Okay, thank you very much. Good evening to you and the crew, Mr. Liu. I'm always blessed in most of your programs. Lato Oliver, writing from Banyo, and Samuel, writing from Kribi, says, is it about managing our cash flow or working so hard? Managing is working hard. Where precisely would that meeting take place? I'm Linus, writing from Bali. The meeting is going to take place here in Douala. So you can just call the contact on our screen so that you can book a place to learn on how you can succeed. Give meaning to yourself. It's never expensive to learn. Yeah. That is just what we need to change to turn our stories around. Good evening, Bruno from Bafoussam. I'm so impressed with the program today. Thank you very much. Good evening. Thank you for the program. I like the program. I'm Bertrand, writing from Fumban. Good evening to you, Bertrand. Mr. Teke is right. It's never too late to learn. One point in life is inspiration. If you do not meet what you are inspired with, you cannot get what you want. Henry Mule is writing from Bamenda. So it's not too late, even if you are 70 years old. Get a copy of the Billionaire's Mindset, and if possible, attend some of the seminars or workshops organized by Tex Global,
and they are free.
And they are free of charge, so that you can change your situation, your family situation, and that of your community around. Thank you to the production team, Eli and Desmond, Bertrand and Noel. Thank you, guys, lovely people, and to you, Tamai Jarvis, and not forgetting you, Kaiser Michelle, and the supervisor of our programs out here, Tabi Tambe Bryant. We would only say, stay blessed. Bye-bye.